Hello everybody, you found Nintoonist coming at you with a TF2 gameplay video. Today I'm going to be playing as the, I don't freaking know, man. I'm gonna be honest, I usually record these commentaries and then put a gameplay footage over them. Unless I'm trying to give like gaming advice and whatnot, which I usually don't do with Team Fortress. I usually try to be entertaining or to make a point, like in commentaries, you know, which is why I'm making this one. Today I want to talk about DLCs. For any like non-gamer watching this video, or if you are a gamer and you really sadly don't know what DLC is in this day and age, DLC stands for downloadable content, or content I believe it's pronounced. My mother always gets on me for that because I pronounce it wrong. But that's beside the point. Downloadable content is when you can download from the internet more stuff, more content, oh my god, onto your game. A lot of video games do this. Pretty much most modern video games do this, actually. Or at least most modern, like, FPS games do this, like Call of Duty and Battlefield and things like that. It can go one of three ways, DLCs. It can go, like, the regular way, where, you know, you play a game for a while, oh, the game's really good, and then you get bored of the material, so they release, like, a map pack, like they do with Call of Duty, you know, like they release, like, a map pack every now and again with more maps to play and whatnot. Which is okay, I guess, but, there's also the really bitchy iOS way, like, you know, the Apple way, where they tell you a game is free to play, but then you have to pay to continue the game, like to continue the campaign. That is what I like to call bullshit DLC, because that's not a free game, like, at all. You know, it's not, like, they just sell you a game, like, you can download it for free, but the game itself is not actually free. You have to pay to continuously play it, which I find a little ridiculous, because imagine, like, you know, you're watching a movie, like, you're watching The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. Fantastic movie. And the movie stops. Movie stops right in the middle of it. And you're like, what? Why did it stop? I'm so confused. And then a little message will appear on screen saying, oh, thank you so much for buying our movie. Will you please give us, you know, $10 more to continue it? It's a shenanigan. It truly is a shenanigan that people do things like that. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to the gamer at all, you know. I could, like, go with Nintendo's viewpoint on it, which I gotta admit, I share with them. You know, Reggie Fils-Aimé came out and said, you know, when response to, like, being asked about DLC, that he doesn't believe in selling half a game and then forcing, like, the player to pay more money after that. I admire him and respect him for saying that, because it makes perfect sense. I mean, you wouldn't sell half a movie or half a book and then force your viewer to pay for it, you know. Yeah, for your viewer. Force them to pay for, like, more of it later. That's not fair, you know? I just think it's stupid that they do things like that. And I'm not saying it just because Nintendo's, like, my favorite game company. I just think I respect that, and it's reasons, like, it's things like that, which is why Nintendo is my favorite game company, you know? And then, last but not least, there is the free DLC, which is my favorite DLC and the most fair to the gamer. This is what Team Fortress does, and if you ask me, it's a much more brilliant marketing scheme. Because, like, Team Fortress 2 releases free updates. They release updates with a bunch of new maps in them and stuff like that, you know. And there are things that are released in the Manco store that you can buy. But you can also craft them, or, like, trade them, or things like that, you know, and it works, is what I'm trying to say. The system, like, that Valve has for Team Fortress 2 works. It works. Like, I wind up buying things for, like, Team Fortress more than, like, any other video game, because I don't have to. It's not like, oh, this is a bullshit video game company trying to make me pay more to continue their game. Well, Team Fortress 2 is going to continue whether I buy their product or not. And they're not forcing me to buy it to continue the video game. I can still play it without having to pay money again. Which is how I think DLC should go. And that's typically how I end up buying stuff, like when I don't even have to. And the only person to blame for it is yours truly, ladies and gentlemen. It's just me. I bought the damn item that I would probably be able to craft later, or trade with somebody later, or just, I don't even know, find some other way to get it later. I end up buying it now. Because, like, the update is what's new for Team Fortress. It's all new, it's fun, you can do whatever you want, and it's all on you. Because Valve is not forcing you to do anything. It's not like Plants vs. Zombies 2, where you literally had to pay more money to continue the game. That is just complete money-mongering horseshit. Or longering. I don't know what the word is, it's ongering something. I don't even know. But I hate that. That's why I hate, like, apps. Making phone games and things like that, because they're just little bitchy games like that you can derp around when you're in a meeting and that you're really not interested in, or you're on the subway or in an elevator, those kind of things. They're games, they're convenient games that the average gamer plays. Not the average, like, hardcore gamer who plays, like, console, PC games, like, legitimate video games, because I gotta be honest, I do not consider app games video games. I really don't. Unless, I just don't. Like, they're not, like, full-on video games to me. You don't get a full-on experience. They're just derpy games that are released to the public. And not everyone in the public is a gamer. I'm not disrespecting, like... I'm not disrespecting them or anything and saying, like, you don't play on console, man. You don't play video games. You don't play them. You don't play them on PC, so you're not a real gamer. I don't want to say that, because that's not true. They are real gamers as well. But I have to say, I do consider, like, these more legitimate video games. Like... Again, I could relate it back to movies by saying, like, there's The Dark Knight, which is a legitimate movie released in theaters, made in Hollywood, all that bullshit. And then you have, like, a YouTube video like this one. This is like a mini-movie. It's not like a movie with a plot or anything. It's a little video about a guy talking about DLC shenanigans. It's not like a full-on feature film, And I see that the same way with apps. Like, in the App Store and whatnot for iPhones and things like that. And I see them. And then there's movies. I mean, not movies. Oh, god damn it. I see, like, legitimate video games, like Team Fortress 2, Super Mario, Call of Duty, and Battlefield, and Zelda, and, all that. All that good stuff. Apps just seem like more money-mongering to me. Where you release, like, a cruddy little game for like 99 cents, and it's so cheap, and everyone in the goddamn world has an iPhone, and everyone ends up buying it. I do not understand. I do not understand. It's a brilliant marketing technique, but I think it's a little disrespectful to the video game community to just, like, do that, by passing these off as, like, legitimate video games when they're just cruddy little things about, like, flinging a bird, like flinging a fucking suicidal bird into a pig's nest, for God knows why. For money. And don't get me wrong, video games are for money. Legitimate video games are for money, of course. I'm not saying, like, people only make, like, video game designers only make video games, like, for pride, and the pride of video games. Some game companies do that, but, again, just like movies and books, it's still done for money as well. I've made a couple of movies in my day, not like feature films, like videos and whatnot, and I'm not talking about my YouTube videos. I do like some side projects every now and again with some people I know. And, I don't really make any money off those because they're not like legitimate movies. But, and that's pretty much it to that, like, I'm not going to pass that off as like a feature film, when it's not, maybe one day I'll be working on something like that, I'll write some scripts, things like that, but I forgot what else I was going to say about it. I don't even know, man. It's late at night. I want to play some Team Fortress before I have to go to sleep. So, I'm going to wrap this up with one more thing here. If Nintendo did join, like, the DLC, like, community, which I doubt they would, because they did separate themselves from the console market, which was really smart of them to do, because they're not like PS4 and Xbox One and things like that. They don't really produce, like, violent video games. They don't really make FPSs, things like that. Nintendo is, like, a different thing entirely, and it's also oriented more towards children. But if the next Super Smash Bros. Has DLC, Nintendo will never need to make another video game in their life because of me alone. DLC for Smash Bros. Would be such a good idea for them to make money. But if Nintendo's truly not about that, if they're truly what they say they are, that they're not about selling half a game, and then just, like, making money by having the player continue to pay for it, if they truly are like that, then they wouldn't release DLC for Smash Bros. Because that would make them rich. Because everybody... Super Smash Bros. Is amazing. Everyone knows that. It's an amazing video game, one of my favorite video games growing up. If they continued on to that game by adding more characters to it and more stages to it, that would be brilliant of them. If they weren't just about the money. And I'm not saying this to defend Nintendo or anything. They came out and said that about DLC themselves. So, I guess we'll just have to wait in the future to see what they're going to do. I mean, I doubt there's going to be DLC in Smash Brothers. They never said anything about it, and that seems like the kind of thing they would announce, you know? That seems like the kind of thing they would announce. I apologize. My voice died out there a little bit. I was doing a lot of singing today. I had rehearsal for, like, my acapella group. I'm in an acapella group. It's cool. It's fun. But I think that's just going to about do it here, guys, for this video. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, favorite the video, comment the video. Don't do any of that. I really don't care, as long as you just respect people, so to say. Alright, I'm done. I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. Have an awesome day.